All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Geis receives the pitch. Finding some room at midfield. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Toss play to Robinson. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
To throw on 3rd down. Moore. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. On the toss, here's Robinson. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. All
right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
First carry of the ball game now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That one 28 yards on the ground. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Detroit! Gone!
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Gone!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Moore to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Moore throwing on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A good pickup there, a 22.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Moore now on 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
On 3rd down, Moore. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They start the drive with Anderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Darius Geis hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Now the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now back to throw. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is taken around the 12. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
They start on the ground with Geis. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Moore, looking to throw on second down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Watch him now, Barney.
More now. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Taken in at the 22. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Back to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is Geis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Set. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Moore. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! No. Check! Patriot! Patriot! Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 26
To throw is Moore on 1st down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now Moore. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Looking to throw. Moore under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now Moore throwing on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. He's got room to run past the 20. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Four-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run from Anderson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast. Quick and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Detroit! Detroit!
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Moore. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They give it to Anderson. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Handoff comes to Anderson, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And they'll get this down to the 10. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Gone! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw, eluding the pressure right. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll fight through one tackle. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, we'll see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in a mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A toss right to Geis. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone! 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 Gone!
Moore to throw on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Gone! 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 Watch it now, Barney! Barney! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Moore now to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! Gone! 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 Gone!
They run it again with Anderson. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. Let's get it. White 7, white 7. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's pulled in at the 32. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
9 yards on the carry there, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
No. Check. Patriot.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! Watching that, Barney! Over!
Here's Moore, looking to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
To throw is Moore, operating from the gun. They'll rifle this one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll hand it now to Geis. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and get it with Geis. He spins through. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
And his kick here is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 21,
right,
it's 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. We got three. Gone.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Lighten up. Pull it together.
Gone.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 28. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team.
On the handoff, it's Geis. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And the Steelers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Now a give running left is Geis. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And his kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll drop to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And they'll start out with great field. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Yeah, baby!
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Gone! Detroit!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Moore. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Now the try here for the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. They run. Anderson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. They run again on 1st down. Anderson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. It's a quarterback sneak, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. It's their quarterback. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Pittsburgh, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
You